Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is G Kim on drums. Thank you for stopping by my channel. Today's gonna be a double upload, so hopefully you guys watch the other one. Big dogs. I don't know. I got some copyright stuff. Or hopefully it's not like blocked, but it says for some partial countries is blocked. So let's see if it's okay. So I sent it to my cousin and a few of my friends to see if it works. So let me know in the comments if you could see it. If you can't see it, write it. If you could see it, write it also. All right. So today is something. This is one of my most exciting things I like to play on drums. One of my viewers requested little tips or advices of playing drum and bass music or jungle music. So what is jungle music? What is drum and bass music? You guys have to know. Okay, before you guys dig into any style of music or anything, you really have to dig in and find out the history or find out where it got created. You just have to know the culture of it. So drum and bass and jungle music, I believe it got started on the UK underground with a lot of drum breaks. So what are drum breaks? Drum breaks are parts of music where there's only drum parts. And a lot of back in the days when hip-hop was created, the DJs looped those drum breaks and made it into groups or loops and became beats. So but there's a special break that a lot of jungle music and drum and bass music got played. Let me stop my background music and share that with you guys today. And I appreciate you guys coming in, checking out, and liking and subscribing. So there's a special drum and bass jungle music is a electronic music. It's a dance music. It was really popular during the late 90s. And it's still popular now, but there's not that many clubs that played. When I was young in high school, raves and jungle music was really popular. So I guess you guys wouldn't know my age now if I tell you exactly what year. But I remember in my I went to 2 proms, but my prom night, instead of going to a prom, one of my best friend and I, we went to a nightclub in the city called the Tunnel. I don't know if you guys remember that. It used to be a cool nightclub, and there was a part there was different sections in the Tunnel. It was really big, but there were certain sections where different music was played. The majority of the music was just really heavy rave music, but there was a small portion of the back room that they played jungle music, which was so cool. Yeah, it's a dance music. It's a lot of drums, drum and bass, and a lot of bass. Back in the days, a lot of the bass lines used to sound like reggae chant bass lines, and after that, a lot of the moog or the really saw sounding bass lines were put to it. But there's a certain distinct tone to it. So for you to really to get good at it, you have to look deep. You gotta dig in some crates or do some research. But I'm gonna do the research for you guys. So there's a special drum break that is used on drum and bass music. There's a channel called Art of Drumming. He's a real cool YouTuber. He's been putting a lot of really cool stuff, and he breaks down what the amen drum. I'm not gonna really like go in detail because there's so many videos on YouTube. So the drum break that people use on the drum and bass tracks back in the days, or when they used to sample a lot, they used this groove, and I think I could play it. Hopefully, I won't get any strikes because I'm using YouTube video, so hopefully YouTube will understand this is educational purposes. So this is how it sounds.
Check out how we managed to recreate the drum sound of this famous recording. We went with an 18-inch Gretsch Broadcaster bass drum. The soul band The Winstons became one of the most sampled tracks during that period. The song includes a 4-bar drums-only break, which would later become known as the Amen break.
So check it out.
By looping the whole 4-bar phrase, or even just segments of the drum break, producers back in the day created the foundation for countless songs. Let's listen to a loop of the original 4-bar drum break.
Okay, that's the loop. So let's hear it again. It sounds so cool, huh? Yeah, already has a vibe. So just to check you, if you want to check that, the old school original drum, the Winston's Amen Brother, okay? That's the original track that there's that drum break, okay? And what Art of Drumming guy says is very important too, segments, okay? You could use the whole loop or you could use segments. So you have to understand how samplers works. Drum samplers or any kind of samplers are tools where you put sound and you sample, you copy. The hard drive copies the sound, okay? And what you could do is you could have that sound be played full loop on the keyboard or drum pads like the MPC or keyboards. You could have it play the whole sample that you played, or you could have segments of the samples. So a lot of producers used to cut segments of that loop and create drum parts to it. And it's really cool. And how do you get that sound? That sound sounds really good. And you could watch that video and talk about how they actually recorded it, the drums. But the sound of the drum and bass tracks are pitched high because drum and bass tempo is really high. It's like used to be like 130, 140, 150, 160. It gets faster and faster now. But so if you want to have that high pitched sound, what the producers used to do is or if you want to match the song, you gotta speed up the record or speed up the samples. So when you speed up the samples, the pitch goes high. So you get that really like high pitched snare sound, stuff like that. So, and there's few producers that I like or artists that they really inspired me how to play drum and bass music. And I just like the tonality, really low bass and really busy drums. Here's some artists that you should listen to if you want to get it into drum and bass. And it's a dance culture, so you really have to understand that this music was played in nightclubs for people to dance. But as you know, there's breaks and there's climaxes. So a lot of drum and bass old school tracks is really long, and there's like a really long build up. Then the drum comes in. It's really, really cool. So here are a few of my favorite drum and bass or jungle music. Jungle is a little bit more drum and bass, but it has a little bit more of the reggae kind of vibe to it. And the drum, it's a little bit more organic. Drum and bass now is a little bit more electronic and just a little bit faster. So a few of my artists that I really love that inspired me to to play drum and bass was Ronnie Size, Paper Bag, Brown Paper Bag. Let's play a little bit of it.
The rhythm made out of brown paper. Sounds that we bring a
so it has like a really cool acoustic bass sampled and rap. There it is. It slowly it really it slowly used to come in. So it's just like 1 minute in. There it is. There's a unique sound to it. Okay. So Ronnie Size, Brown Paper Bag, is one of the tracks or one of the artists that you should definitely listen to, because as a drummer, you know, we're trying to imitate that style of music, but that style of music is technically from the drums originally. So technically we could do it. So there's a lot of drummers. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But another cool drum and bass DJ or artist, his name is Goldie. A lot of them are like European DJs, because, you know, a lot of the DJ and techno and underground electronic music, it was pretty heavy in the UK. And in the late 90s, it came to New York. And a lot of the clubs play that. And we'll talk about that a little bit later when we talk about one of my favorite drummers. So here's a little sample clips of Goldie, okay? He's amazing too when it comes to the drum and bass kind of stuff. Let's play it again. So as you can tell, at the beginning of the song is really mellow, you know, and it slowly comes in. It takes like a good minute for it to drop, you know, and the drum slowly comes in, which is really cool. Come on, internet, work with me. Maybe because I have so much browsers open today. So let's try that again. Okay. So what a lot of these producers did was they sampled, or they actually chopped every little piece and put them together in the computer and put it into a beat. I remember a good friend of mine, Rob, used to make drum and bass and glitch music. He was one of the best. I think right after school, he just worked at Apple. I don't know what he does, but hopefully, Rob, you're still killing it with the music. But he used to make drum and bass music and beats, and he used to sample every hi-hat and put them together. So when you listen to some of this track right here, it's programmed, okay? It's programmed drum tracks, but it's the way how it's programmed. It's really unique and it's fun. Yeah, this one's called Goldie Inner City Life. It's so good, you know. You could just vibe with it. You know, that's so cool. And the bass line, boom, boom, boom. That's really unique. Not unique, but it's like quite used a lot. Boom, 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 boom. And you gotta understand, because the drums are programmed, there's like stacks of snares. You know, they're not just using one snare; they're using like 2 or 3 different sounding snares. Okay, so Goldie, Okay, is one of my favorite artists, German bass artists. Okay, let's not forget Square Pusher. Square Pusher is another great producer, DJ, composer. Listen to his track. This one's called Beep Street. It's so cool. And you could kind of like, when you listen to the drums, it's definitely pitched high. And that's so cool, that little rolls. But the rolls are like a pitched bend, and the cymbals are really short and dry. So even though the drums is programmed, the drum parts is not always the same. It's constantly changes. It sounds like a real drummer playing. So let's keep on hearing it. It sounds so good. Wow, sounds so good. And as the track gets, deeper and deeper, the drum parts and the other parts gets a little bit more busier. Here it is. Wow, sounds so good. Okay. So those are DJs and producers recreating that kind of sound. But as drummers, how do you recreate that kind of sound? So there's few drummers that they do this really, really well. Here's some pioneers of drum and bass music. Zach Danziger. He's a New York-based drummer. I met him once at in the Village. I think Lenny and the lesson was playing Arlene's, and after the show, and I think I met Zach. I remember Dave DiCenso telling me, "Hey, when you go to New York, go find Zach." And I found him, but I was just like, just shocked. I was just there hanging out. I'm sure he doesn't know me, but I know him. And he's an amazing drummer. You have to check it out. He pioneered a lot of the drum and bass jungle kind of sound. And he does a lot of like electronic music right now. So you have to check him out. He's not just a great composer. He's a great drummer. He's funny too. He does a lot of really funny stuff. But Zach Danziger, he's amazing. He's an amazing drummer. There's so many clips of him doing stuff. A lot of these projects were really cool. I really enjoyed Zach's playing. All right, so another drummer that did a lot of drum and bass back in the days, or a pioneer, his name is Johnny Raab. He used to have his signature sticks, and he's known for his single one-handed rolls, but he's also did a lot of cool drum and bass kind of stuff. There's so many drummers that they do so many cool like drum and bass kind of stuff. Akira Jimbo also, mixed a lot of hybrid electronic and drums together. So there's a lot, but for me, like drum and bass and jungle, I think Zach and Johnny Raab is really cool. All right, but there's one drummer that does this really well. They all do. They're amazing drummers. But Jojo Mayer, okay, he's amazing. He's known for his technique. He's known for his feel. He's known for his fierceness. He's an amazing, amazing drummer. I got to see him too in New York City a few times. One time I definitely did have the courage to go up to him and ask him some questions. But he's really, really cool, really, really artistic. And Jojo Mayer, what he's all about is he does reverse technology. So even though he does electronic music, he uses a lot of the acoustic instruments, and his setup is very, very unique. Okay, we have to also talk about the setups and sound quality. So when you listen to Jojo Mayer or Meyer doing his drum and bass with this band called Nerve, it's amazing. It sounds like the record, but it's actually a live drummer. I wish I could play drum and bass like him. Check this out. This is a clip of Drumeo Festival 2020. But he's been doing this so long. I remember just watching, going to like a drum clinic in Manhattan, and I saw him for the first time. I saw so many drummers there. I saw him for the first time, and he just blew me away, because I never seen someone doing like jungle and drum and bass like a real drummer doing it, and I was like, what the heck? Here's some clip of him. He's so amazing. Man, how beautiful is that bass tone? Boom, boom, boom. Things like that, like if the bass player is playing that kind of phrases and notes, you could play some drum and bass kind of stuff. So please, you have to check out drummers that pioneered this kind of stuff for like ages, They didn't just do it overnight. They've been doing it for like 20 years, 30 years, just grinding the style that they really love. There's another cool drummer. He's really cool too. His name is Tony Verderosa. He's also a drummer that incorporates a lot of samples and electronics and drums and plays. So here's a little clip of him playing like a drum and bassy kind of stuff too. Let me try it from the beginning. Yeah, that's almost like glitch kind of sampling kind of stuff, finding samples from random places and putting them together and orchestrate it to make it sound like a track. And Tony does that really, really well. He's been doing it. I don't know if you guys remember, he had an old school Twix chocolate commercial, and he was playing his Yamaha electronic kit, which is really, really cool. Okay, so those are like those are a lot of drummers and a lot of producers, but those are like my favorite drum and bass and jungle kind of style of music, drummers and producers that I like. Okay, so there's certain tricks that to order to play drum and bass music, you need to have your snare pitched really, really high. Okay, but if you don't have if you're like playing in a gig, in a small venue gig, and you don't want to be bringing like two, three snare. That's so much work, isn't it? So, have have your main snare, but there's some tricks that I could show you right now. One trick is you could get that really high pitched sound by tuning it really high, or you could use a splash or any kind of cymbal, and you could stack it on the snare. So okay, so here's my splash. It's a beautiful Paiste Dark Legacy splash, 8-inch. So you could have any kind of splash. Okay, you don't want to have a splash too big because it's gonna cover your snare too much. So what you could do is just place it on the snare. Okay, so let me demonstrate how different it sounds with the splash on the snare and without it. So it sound pitched dramatically, and it went dead, and went really dead, the sounding. So what a lot of drummers do is sometimes if you play really loud and aggressive, the splash keeps on moving around. So sometimes you could just tape it, or just sometimes you could just not play it. So let me just demonstrate how a regular groove sounds like, and with the Paiste. Yeah, it sounds like a drum and bass kind of snare, huh? It's kind of cool. You could play it on the cymbal, or you could play it off the cymbal. So if you play it actually on the splash, it has that kind of cool sound too. But it's a little bit distorted. So what I like to do is just play a little bit off the splash, and you get the high pitched sound. Okay, that's one easy trick. It's just putting a small splash on the snare. Okay, the other easy trick is not easy trick, but get yourself a side snare, like a really small side snare. This is a popcorn snare, and it's real small. I think it is a 6, maybe an 8-inch. Okay, and it has this kind of sound. Naturally, it's really high pitched because it's real small. Yeah, having a second snare on your left, or having it somewhere, it sounds really good. I don't have any space, so I just put it on top of my floor tom. It stays there. I could still hear the snare. Okay, that's one trick. Another cool trick of getting that drum bassy kind of snare kind of sounding, is this. You have to flip the snare around. So I'm gonna mute my both of my mics so it doesn't make crazy noise. Yeah, a siren again. Hey. So yeah, it was like, what? You flip the snare? Yeah, when you flip the snare, because the bottom head is really thin, and usually, another tip, a lot of drummers tune their bottom skin tighter than the top. So usually the bottom snare side is really pitched higher. So, and when you play it backwards, it has a very distinct high pitch sound too. It sounds really cool too, huh? But you have to really be careful with that, with playing this way, because, like I said, the bottom side of the snare, the bottom side of the snare is really really thin. So if you play like really loud rim shots, you're gonna tear it. And there's like cool tricks that you could do. You could rub your stick on the snare itself. It sounds like a record player. So let me demonstrate that a little bit. Yeah, you could do like little scratch sounding kind of stuff. But yeah, but it's kind of annoying, like hold on, let me flip my snare and do that. But you could do it. It's gonna be really hard to do in the middle of the song. But if the next song is gonna have like a drum and bassy kind of vibe to it, and then have the you could do it. I think you will have enough time to flip it around. So when you flip it, it has that kind of sound. It's really cool. Yeah. So tonality is very important. That's one of my secrets, guys. Is your tone. Your tone is very important. So everyone plays drums differently. Okay. If you ask 10 drummers to play the same 8-note groove, every drummer is gonna sound different, because every person hits the drums differently. But if you focus on getting your sounding good, honestly, it doesn't really matter what drum set you use. You gotta sound good. Okay, you could have control of your volume. It's like mixing yourself. Okay, you could say, oh, my bass drum is too low, let me play my bass drum a little bit louder. Or, oh, I think my snare is too loud, play the snare a little bit softer. Or I need my hi-hats to be louder, play the hi-hat louder. It's like you're like adjusting your own self. And finding your tone takes time, because it takes a lot of time. I like this, I like that, you gotta change it. But you're gonna be finding parts where like there's a certain snare sound you like, and you're always gonna go for that sound. And there's a certain sound that I like on my snare too, so I always go for that. So flipping the snare and really thinking about the tonality of the music is very, very important. So drum and bass, as you know, the drums was pitched higher to fit the tempo. So everything is gonna sound a little bit pitched higher. So having a small bass drum should help. And having the bass drum sounding really vintagey is gonna help too. Having a small ride, it helps. But this one's really dry. This is a 22 Kerope, so it has a real small bell, so it's not gonna like ring out. So it still sounds real good when I ride on it. Okay, so let me flip the snare back and let's cook some music together. All right. Yeah. So picking a set of snares, a snare, and picking a nice, a really dry right cymbal should definitely help. And having a real dry cymbal should really help playing the drum and bass kind of style. So when you listen to, let's go back to maybe we could just go back to like a Goldie kind of beat. And maybe we could hear some parts that we could kind of recreate and trying to figure out what they do. So when you hear drum and bass, you hear that. So if you play a groove that kind of like has that kind of imitation or that kind of snare pattern, it's gonna work. So let's play along from here. For me, that part sounds like this to me. It sounds like a real cool funky beat, so that's what it is. It was like a cool funky kind of sound. So if you have that kind of accent pattern, it should work in most of the drum and bass kind of groove. So you could use that same pattern and just I'll change that to the second snare. It's gonna sound real cool. Yeah, so now let's try using two snares. Okay, maybe you could do few bars and one snare, and the second few bars go to the second snare. Yay. So yeah, you could do that. So remember what we talked about at the beginning segment. So you could think about like yourself as a sampler. I don't know if you ever played with a sampler. So with the sampler, you could have the sample split up in every note or in 16 parts, like an MPC. You could have like a groove, and you could have the beat split up in 16 different segments. So the first segment could be, let me mute it. So that could be the first segment, huh? Boom, da, 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 da. So imagine as a producer or as a sampler, if you press this, it's gonna be push da 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 da, push da 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 da. But if you're going push 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 push, so you could just think about like a producer, So even though you're a drummer, you kind of have to think about like, you got to think yourself like a producer. Like how would a finger drummer or producer will do it? So you could go push 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 push, So think about like different parts that you could break and loop. So that you could loop that part. So you could loop that part, So have those two ideas. So you could be a little bit creative. So think about it like a DJ going. So think about it like that too. So, and even though we are drummers, we gotta kind of like put ourselves sometimes as a producer mind. Sometimes the music needs to be very simple at the beginning. You could just do hi-hat. So sometimes when you hear like drum and bass, sometimes you hear like hi-hats just constantly going. Sometimes you could hear the ride just constantly going. Yeah, it's drum and bass, so you don't want to be washing it like how you're playing like rock. You want to be playing more with your tip and just play it in the sweet spot, and don't play too hard. And so you're just keeping it right there, because you don't want to be laying on it and washing it, and you want your snares to be pitched really really high. But there's certain patterns that you could do, and that patterns is the amen break, where you could decide what parts of that measures you want to keep on looping or keep on creating. So that was like Goldie kind of like vibe. So maybe we could change it up, and let's see what Squarepusher is doing. Yeah, so Squarepusher has a little bit more of that swell rolls, which is really cool. Like, and a lot of his cymbal sounding is really staccato, really short. You know, a lot of like buzz rolls. So they're like buzz rolls. You know, you just have to like control them while you play. Yeah. That's really, really cool. So let's see what some ideas we could pick up from Squarepusher. So cool. And in drum and bass music, you don't want to have that jungle drum and bass constantly going. So sometimes like breaking it apart and just playing hi-hats or ride, you know, it gives the song some breather. Yeah, you don't want to be like constantly playing. So even right here, you know, he has like a little drum break, you know, not everything is playing. So if you have like two snares, it's kind of cool, like splitting the fill or the fills. Like, you know, having two snares is really cool when you do like fills too. Yeah, double strokes. Yay. So let's keep on listening and hopefully we could get some more ideas. And there's parts of drum and bass where you don't have to be too busy. There's parts where you could just play this kind of stuff. Yeah, you don't have to play all the like fancy kind of stuff. You could just keep pocket too. It kind of pushes instead of being super busy. And you could use this beat if you don't feel like doing all that crazy stuff. You could just do this. I do have some ghost notes when I do that. Yeah, ghost notes here and there. But you could do that pattern. It works a lot on drum and bass, kind of tracks. If you just want to just keep it simple and just pushy. Yeah. Drum and bass so much fun. Like I said, I really just loved jungle and drum and bass because I loved going to those kind of places and just like vibe around and dance and just be young and fun. And it was really intriguing to me that I loved it because I was a drummer and hearing all these drum parts playing loud was amazing. But also seeing other people just dancing, vibing was really, really cool. So yeah, so those are like few of my drum and bass kind of trick, You could do, like think about it like that, like just learn how to play the amen break, or if you have a hard time playing it, just learn like few measures of it, and from there just chop your beat and see what you could loop, see what you could start with, and just keep on doing it. So it's really, really, really fun. I like drum and bass. Like I said, sound, tonality, the tone is very, very important. So you could play drum and bass with like a really deep low snare, like a Fat Boy, but it's not gonna sound authentic. You always want to sound authentic to the music that you're playing. So like I said earlier in this video, this video went really, really long because I guess I like the genre, I guess. But yeah, if you want to learn something, you really have to dig in and learn the culture. It's not just learning one song. You really have to dig into it. And I'm so glad that I got to share with it. Like I said, if you have time, listen to those producers, and if you want to imitate that kind of sound in a drum set, look for those drummers that we talked about today. Amazing drummers, and what they do is great. Human beings playing like machines. Because these days, AI and all this crazy stuff happening. It's kind of cool that we as humans, we could imitate them, but they can't imitate us, kind of deal. So it's like what Jojo Mayer does. Is like a reverse technology where even though technology is there to make things easier, hopefully we could still do what we do as drummers, keep on playing drums. So I think that's pretty much it for the drum and bass and jungle kind of stuff. I wish I could play a little bit more of the drum parts myself and demonstrate, but I think I played enough, and I think I gave you guys enough ideas. But like I said, if if you guys want to really like get into the drum and bass, just type in drum and bass on YouTube, and there's so many DJs. And one thing I noticed with drum and bass music is, like I said, the tempo keeps on getting faster and faster. Like, you know, clocking out like 135 was kind of fast, but when I hear drum and bass these days, they're real fast. They're like, you know, almost like 150, 160, which is really hard to do, like jungle kind of patterns, like the drum patterns. But like I say, if you don't want to do that drum busy, you could do that other simple kind of groove to it too. Okay, that's pretty much it for me. If I have more things to add, I guess I'll make another video of it. I appreciate it. I appreciate all you guys on liking and subscribing my channel. It's been growing. I've been getting a lot of views, and it makes me really, really happy. And I hope I see you guys soon. And if you have any songs that you want me to do, or any style that you want to go over with me, I'm willing to share it. So hopefully you guys learned something with this, or pick something up from this. Yeah, so keep on drumming and keep on dancing and have fun, guys. My name is G Kim on drums. Thank you for coming to my channel. Please like and subscribe. Thank you. Have a good one, guys.